Cool. Well, I think we'll get started. Hello, everybody. I think Betsy is new-ish. I know that you've signed up to volunteer. Thank you very much. Um, I have some slides that I will run through. I think for most of you, it might not be super new information, but it's just an easy way to kind of summarize how next week is going to go. And then if you guys have any questions, we can go from there. And I will be sending this presentation around to all the other people who volunteered as well. I have everybody's emails from the online sign up. So they'll receive that for any questions. General update is I think we're doing well with volunteers. We have a total of 46 individuals signed up to help over the course of Tuesday to Saturday, which is great. That's actually for us like one of the, on the higher end of volunteer numbers. So that's exciting. These numbers below here are the numbers that we have for the entire day or throughout the entire day on each day. So we've got a lot on Tuesday. I think we have something like 16 volunteers coming out in the morning, which is going to be a lot. So basically any other volunteers who sign up, I'm kind of starting to restrict some of the slots a little bit on the online sign up. I think we're really only in need of volunteers Thursday afternoon if you happen to talk to anybody who's interested. And basically, if we are making really good progress, I'll just be managing that and keeping track, and I will have to let people know, not to come on Saturday, or they don't need to show up in the afternoon or something like that. So I think in general, we're doing well, and, we probably anticipate several more people signing up over the next couple of days. But this chart is just to show the general progress and milestones each day. The yellow boxes are the volunteer tasks. So Monday is all contractor and us doing the work, and then volunteers join us Tuesday primarily for, painting the green conflict zones and marking the holes for where the contractor is going to be drilling for the installation of the planters and delineators. Wednesday is basically just going to be a continuation of that, plus helping with other tasks. There are always, little things like material prep tasks to be done that we can hopefully, use to keep volunteers busy. And then Thursday, we will start planting the planters. So Thursday and Friday will be heavy on that. But yeah, so this is just an overall glimpse. You guys can maybe take a look at this in more detail if you want. On your own. I think in general, our goal is going to be to finish on Friday. So Saturday, is maybe more of like an overflow day, or hopefully not, knock on wood, if something big delays us during the week. So a general summary of the volunteer tasks. There's kind of a lot of just like moving stuff, prepping stuff. So whether that's, helping to unpack something or trim a piece of fabric that's going into the planters. So there's some of that little stuff. The main tasks that you'll be working with us, our street plans team on, are measuring and marking the conflict zones. So these are the green markings that go across driveways and intersections. Like I said, marking the holes to help out the contractor for where they need to drill for the delineators. I don't know how much volunteer, we'll have volunteers maybe help us with some aspects of the installation of planters and delineators, but that's pretty technical. So we'll have to see about that. And then obviously prepping and planting the planters. So that includes everything from getting the gravel in, getting filter fabric in each planter, helping put in the soil, and then helping to put in the plants. So when you arrive for your shift, we're going to have a tent at the Meadows Preserve Trailhead. And we will have our volunteer waivers there. I'm going to send those around today if you guys want to sign them ahead of time, and either send them back to me or bring them to me signed when you show up. If no one's at the tent, I'm probably somewhere else on the corridor, but you can call me. And I will come to you. So, you know, when you get there, we'd like you to sign the volunteer waiver. And we'd also ask that you know, give yourself a spritz of hand sanitizer as well. Obviously, masks will be required. You know, we're encouraging everyone to bring their own reusable bottles for water. And then we will also have gloves. And so, you know, that's basically for you to use throughout your volunteer shift. If you don't want to use them, we would just ask that equipment be wiped down before it's passed off to somebody else, and we'll have sanitizing wipes there as well. Something happened to this image here, but basically it's on the next slide, but we are going to have manuals on site. So that includes, you know, more detailed dimensions of what it is we're doing. And then also, you know, diagrams basically that outline the milestones for each day. And this isn't necessarily something that you guys need to worry about, because for the most part, we'll be managing volunteers, but it's just helpful to have on hand. And, you know, part of implementing these projects is flexibility. So obviously things might change. Something that you signed up for, we might not need at that time. We might assign you to something else. And then, you know, that kind of also goes for the general plan. Like in these diagrams, it basically has us, you know, starting each task at Kuyama Road, working southeast on one side of the street, and then circling back. But sometimes that doesn't always go perfectly. We might hop to different conflict zones first to get more complicated ones out of the way. It also depends on how many volunteers we have at one time. But that's kind of the general goal, is that we'll be, you know, starting with one side and then moving to the other and working in the same direction. But when you arrive, we'll be assigning you to a small group and a captain. And most likely your captain will be somebody from our team, from the street plans team. And we're not going to have more than 3 volunteers with a captain at one time. So we're going to keep the groups to 4 people. This is just a snapshot of what one of the aspects of the build diagrams looks like. You know, it's a very specific detail. This isn't necessarily anything, you know, you guys might be helping us mark the holes for these planters. But this is more detailed guidance that we created for the contractor to have on hand as well for what they're going to be doing. These are just some images of what some of the tasks might look like. So, you know, up here you'll be measuring and marking the conflict zones with us. We always border everything with duct tape to get crisp lines around the edges. So you'll be painting, you know, filling in the painting. Here's an image of chalk lining. I'm sure, you know, if some of you have construction experience or anything else, you are familiar with that. And then obviously prepping and planting the planters. This is just what the delineators look like. So when I say drilling of holes for the delineators, it's these items. So there's over 1,000 holes and 1,000 bolts that are going to need to be put into the ground to secure all of these. We have 72 planters and I think it's 367 delineators. So that's going to be a really big push, not primarily for volunteers, but I'm sure we could find ways for you guys to help make sure that goes smoothly as well. And then also we're going to have project signage along the corridor. There's already a banner up at church. I don't know if any of you have noticed that, but you guys will help us put up smaller signs to existing poles along the corridor. And these are going to have information on how to give feedback. So it's the link to the project survey, which is going to be really important for us to get feedback from people using the project once it's in. And then finally, so if if this is the link, we have flyers that we've sent to all of you. I'm sure you guys have the link. But if you don't, if you want to share it with somebody else, just let me know. Like I said, we're really only seeking volunteers for Thursday afternoon. It's not the end of the world if people sign up for shifts, you know, other than that, but that's just where we're a little bit deficient right now. Just a reminder on the COVID guidelines. You know, like I said, masks are required. We will have extra masks, we'll have gloves, we'll have hand sanitizer and wipes. And then just a reminder of, you know, wiping down equipment before you're going to pass it off to another volunteer. And like I said, if we're moving ahead of schedule and volunteers are no longer needed, volunteers will get an email from me about that. And so that is the very short presentation, and I'll send that to you guys later today for you to either distribute or just to have on hand. But yeah, does anyone have any questions? Suzette, you're on mute. Oh,
yeah, I just fixed it. I would be happy to be there Tuesday at 8:45 at the table, if that helps, so that you can be free to roam around, and just so there's somebody there.
okay.
If it's helpful. I'll come masked and all that, if you'd like that. I'm an early bird. No problem.
Yeah, I think each day at 9, we kind of, you know, round up the volunteers, just socially distance, obviously, at the tent. So I think every morning we'll try to be there at least at 9, and just to give volunteers their assignments and just kind of remind them of, you know, the COVID-19 precautions we're taking and stuff. So I think we'll be okay, but I appreciate that.
Okay.
I think regardless, you're still gonna, yeah, you're signed up for 9, so.
Yeah, so if we want to be there early, we can do that in case we're needed, right?
Yeah, I'll let you know, but I think, yeah, we'll be on site earlier probably, and yeah, we'll always, at the start of each day, we'll round up everybody there, so we should be there.
Yeah, I was going to mention, I mean, if people want to just show up, they can do that, right? I mean, we'll presumably have, they can go, so if somebody didn't have a chance to sign up or their computer's not working or whatever the case is, they could just show up at 9 o'clock, or probably even, when you say almost any time during the day that you'll likely put them to work, they would have to, you know, contact somebody, I guess at the central table. We'll kind of try to have a sign that shows as a check-in.
Hey, yeah, I think people obviously could do that. It's most helpful for people to sign up ahead of time, just so we know how many people to expect, because if anything, some of the time slots now we might have too many people. So I don't want people to show up and not have anything to do. But yeah, theoretically, that's kind of what the tent is for, so that if anyone wanted to show up and they hadn't signed up previously, the tent is kind of the place to meet. And we can just keep our eyes on it if anyone does show up.
So I have another question.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and maybe Greg can help. Can we have information about the project there? Because there's going to be a lot of people that just happen to be in the area, and they'll have questions. We'll have handouts, right?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I can print some extra flyers and bring them. I'm going to be printing the build plans and everything anyway. So yeah, we can have some stuff on hand just to, that just kind of summarizes the info.
Yeah, I imagine we're going to have people just stopping to observe, you know, what we're doing. That's inevitable.
Yeah,
and people,
definitely.
So on that, even by Tuesday, people can use, okay, so what happens? The people that normally ride their bike will have to go on the sidewalk or walk the area. What happens?
Yeah, I think I mean, there's going to be one travel lane open. So if people feel comfortable, they can take the travel lane. But yeah, I think we'll be mostly hoping that people will take the sidewalk or get off and walk their bike on the sidewalk. When you say
travel lane, you mean the one car lane?
Yeah.
That's what you mean. So people, if there's not much traffic, they'll probably be fine there. But if there is traffic, they'll probably go on the sidewalk.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And on that part, you know, the shoulder up against the sidewalk, I guess the crews might be working in that area. I mean, they've got the curb. If you're looking down the street, I'm looking at a picture of it, but you got the curb and sidewalk, and then you've got almost 20 feet wide until you get to the travel lane. So 8 feet, that's the parking lane. And then culprit of it is the bike lane. So it almost seems, I mean, we'd want to be careful and we should make sure we have cones, but where the people are working, the bikes probably could come up and move through the area. This isn't dangerous construction equipment. We're not going to have a lot of backhoes or any of that kind of stuff working. But
Yeah, I think maybe once the striping is in, I think theoretically people could use the bike lane, the area closest to the curb. The only thing I would be wary of is the conflict zones, right? Because we're probably going to be we'll be working at some point along the corridor within the bike lane path at the conflict zones, but not in like many places at one time. But yeah, I'm sure we will get people riding through it anyway. I bet you. So yeah, we'll just have to keep our eyes out for that.
Well, this is very exciting, I think.
Yeah,
I
I
have a
know.
question.
We're getting there for sure.
I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
Am I on?
Yes.
So, sorry I was late. Hello, everybody. It's Diana. And I wondered where the tent is going to be set up. Where is our beginning point?
Yeah, so that is going to be at the Meadows Preserve Trailhead. Okay,
got it.
Yeah, so in basically our two kind of staging areas are going to be those hatched or striped areas, one at the Meadows Preserve and then one directly across the street where there used to be parking.
Okay.
And so we're going to set up the tent on the trailhead side.
Okay. Are any personal power tools needed? You said drilling and putting the, the curb things in. Should we bring anything of our own, or is that all big equipment already taken care of?
Greg, what do you think?
Well, we have drivers. I mean, it is, Dana's coordinated the striping company will be drilling all the holes, the 1,100 holes or something of that sort, right? That were the
right.
Anchoring of each one of those delineators have is 3 or 4 holes each, right? And so those are being drilled up front, but you still got to put it's kind of like a lag bolt that goes into concrete. And so we have, Dana's got these drills that will do that, but we are a little concerned that after 1,100 holes, we might lose one and be short temporarily while we go and get a replacement or something. So if you had a driver you want to, bring for backup, that's possible. It could be helpful. We appreciate that. We'll try not to use it, but if you do have one, terrific.
Okay. Also, I can put up signs, the signage you were talking about, probably like ASAP, right? To let everybody know what's going to be happening soon.
Yeah, I think in the sign up, I had put that later in the week, but I don't really know why, because yeah, we should probably have a volunteer to handle that on Tuesday. So yeah, we might just try to get that done.
Okay, well, I can be that volunteer if you want, or if you have anybody else who could do it with me, I'm happy to use my vehicle. I have a van that's completely empty. I've taken the seats out, so it's a Toyota Sienna. So it's a pretty cavernous space for hauling anything anywhere, signage or tools or anything like that can be used like that. I also have a big blue water jug and a big Sparklets jug full of water. Are those needed?
I think that the city is providing 2 water jugs. So I think we're going to be good.
Okay.
On the jugs. Yeah. And we'll have to actually figure out. Greg, were you guys going to have them, were you going to bring them filled, or was Miguel just going to bring the jugs themselves? I just want to
bring them filled. And
Okay.
I mean, Diana, that's a nice offer as well. If you have it in your van, it'd be kind of nice to have a backup if we land up, running out of water and we're going to get water where people want it. It might be handy to have that extra jug. I think we have 2 on hand. So
right.
Yeah, it's super easy. Super easy for me to do. And what about orange safety vests? I used to teach a lot of bicycle skills classes, and I have lots of those for volunteers' safety. Is that needed?
Yeah, those are needed. I think I talked to Miguel this morning and he has about 10. And then
I think that's good.
street plans will bring several, but I think we need like at least 20 per day. So if you
Yeah,
could
I
bring
have,
two,
I
that'd be
probably
awesome.
have 15 or 20, so I'll bring those.
Great.
I also
Okay.
have a plastic folding table like from Costco and umbrellas. Do we need either of those two?
Hmm.
And folding chairs. Do people need to sit down occasionally?
I think that'd be good to have some
Chair-
folding
yeah.
chairs.
Chairs
Definitely.
would be good. I don't think we need the table because the city's bringing two. But chairs, yeah. And then I don't know, the umbrella would be great too if people wanted to sit under it, but it's just up to you. I don't want you to have to like haul so much stuff to the site, but
Well,
like,
I've already put it
yeah.
in my garage as if you would need it, so it's
Okay.
already ready to go because I
Great
may have
idea.
mentioned.
It's great. Thank you. I'm all for the umbrella.
Okay, I'm gonna just
Let's
kind of
kick
throw it
off
all
on
in
it.
and do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I guess just throw it all in there.
Yeah.
And
How
with the
about,
social distancing, right? It's better if we have chairs out and spaced and maybe extra
Yeah.
umbrellas where it should
Right.
only be,
Yeah.
if somebody's in a group,
That's true.
it comes together and all
and
that.
what about like food? With
Yeah, we will probably get snacks. But typically we just get, like little bars and chips and stuff like that. So
so
we'll
somebody's
probably have-
doing that.
Yeah, we'll have like snacky things on hand.
Okay. My last question might have to do with Kathy. I have really big aloe and really big agave in my yard and just wondered if those were still needed, or do you know?
I think we got all the plant material that we should need delivered to Public Works. So it's been there. And I think we're good on the plant material. We just,
To
we
me,
just have
that
to
sounds like another great offer. I mean, Diana, I don't know if Kathy can come off mute. There she is. But I mean, big plants are really nice compared to small plants. It takes a while to come around. So they're more.
Yeah, well, these are like 6 feet wide. They're ginormous. They need a crane.
Oh, that's too big because our planters are only, they're only about 3 feet long by a foot wide. They're not that wide.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have
But,
that
but
size
thanks
too.
for the offer.
Okay.
What's that?
I have
Okay, I
that.
was hoping you were going to say you got some, 24-inch, 2-foot diameter ones would be perfect. But
I have
That would
that
have been
too.
perfect.
Yeah, I have those
fun,
too.
but probably too big. Yeah.
Well, I have
So-
the smaller size too.
Diana, what I can do is, well, I'll talk to you. You and I connect afterwards, and then maybe I can stop by and see what you have, because maybe it'll be nice to have a little bit of larger filler material to make them look, nice and full initially.
I've been meaning
I
to
haven't
call
even
you
looked
all week.
Okay, good. So after this, you and I can connect.
And maybe
Okay,
keep
good.
an eye when they're, Diana, when they're getting planted, if you're like, oh, mine are definitely more substantial than this, it might be worth us trying to take those in some key locations where it looks more attractive and trying to get those planted there. It might be nice if you
Oh,
get,
yes,
Yeah.
that's an excellent idea, Greg. I really want to change my yard, and I want to donate it to the Go Ojai project.
nice.
Oh, wonderful.
Mhm.
Greg, I agree with you. We may be able to, after I look at what Diana has, if it looks like it's going to work, and if there happen to be easy agaves that we can take quick cuttings from, we could group some of the other stuff together in the other planters to make them look fuller. So I think it's a great idea and I'll explore it.
Okay.
And I'll report back to everybody. Or Diana and I both can.
And Diana, are you volunteering as part of that planting group? I guess that's one of the primary groups, right?
Yeah, I did some signing up back when it was the September or October or November, and now I haven't updated my sign up, but I plan on being there every morning at 9.
Okay.
Perfect. That'll be nice to consider those plants, like we're saying, to try to strategically put certain plants if we have a little more size and so on. Instead of-
Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Terrific.
Yeah, I have another community member, Linda Harmon, who also has some too. So maybe I can just take a look at both of what they've got. Keep it simple, but big and beautiful. How's that?
Yep. I like it.
Okay. Okay.
Cool.
Hey, it's John. I have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Hi, John.
Hey, everybody. I got on a little bit late, so it starts at 8:45 on Tuesday.
You volunteers are getting there at 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, like Diana, I signed up a long time ago on the volunteer sheet, but how does a person follow that up? Do they just go to the tent and get assigned, or are the assignments already made?
You can just tell me, I guess, the days that you're planning on being there. I think I think you and Diana came in a little late. We are definitely like, for Tuesday morning, we have enough people for sure. Tuesday and Wednesday morning, we have enough people. It's really like Wednesday afternoon and Thursday afternoon, we don't have as many. So you guys are welcome to come, whenever. I just, Tuesday and Wednesday mornings, I would just warn that we might run into a situation where you might not have like a lot to do and right in the morning, if you get there at 9.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But Dana, is your
So-
preference to have them go to the website? And I was just looking at it, looks like you just click all of the locations for sign up and they submit. That's one way to go. But I mean, someone like John's an expert landscaper person, and it would be nice to have.
Yeah, I kind of just assumed that, John, you'd be there on Thursday.
Yeah, well, I'll come by and just check it out probably
Yeah.
every day. But
Okay, cool.
Thursday is the day that the planting starts, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. And I'll just and I have a lot of tools. I think I told you early on, about 12 months ago,
Yeah.
that like Diana, I have a lot of construction tools, and so Greg, if you need anything, you can call me.
Yeah, we're pretty good with the basics, as far as shovels and rakes and things like that. But if we end up being short, because ideally if we got extra people, get it done quick, right? I guess, because I mean, isn't it almost a day plus of just prepping the planters, right? And then aren't you planning to put the actual plants in at the end as kind of the final detail to go through?
Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe the plants might go in like Thursday morning. And maybe Wednesday is, putting the filter fabric in the gravel, the soil, putting the water in the tank or the reservoir. Yeah, we'll just see, like, if we get a ton of volunteers and we can start also putting the plants in on Wednesday, what did I say? On Thursday, then we will. Or, we might also get a head start on Wednesday if we have enough people to actually start doing that prep work for the planters to then start putting the plants in on Thursday, if that makes sense. But yeah, I guess it just all depends on what we have on the ground numbers wise and what we still need to finish and stuff.
Okay, great. Sounds good.
Cool. Does anyone else have any questions? No?
Probably the biggest unknown would be if the governor does do that additional measure you're talking about, right? I mean, throughout the entire COVID, the city's efforts have been considered essential. And so we'll take a good look at that and keep everybody updated. But essentially, this is an ideal situation. We're outside, well-spaced, and we'll just have to consider if there's any additional measures that should be implemented. But I think at this point, well-spaced with masks, with proper sanitation and stuff there should take care of the majority of the concerns.
Yeah. Cool. Well, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna send out an email to everyone who signed up so far with the waiver. If you want to do it ahead of time, and I'll send around the presentation, which just has the details, of like where we're meeting and tasks anticipated per day and that sort of thing. But that's really all I have. So if no one else has any other questions, then we can just wrap up early. And if anything comes up, just feel free to email me before we start.
So you'll actually be here in Ojai on Monday?
Yeah, we're actually gonna arrive on Saturday night.
Uh-huh.
And then Sunday, you know, might be us just running around doing various prep, getting any last minute stuff like snacks and materials and things. But yeah, we're actually going to be there. We're
Okay.
coming.
So,
My phone number in
Dana-
case you have
Oh,
any
go ahead.
questions about the town. Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that's true. I think maybe like Kathy and Souza and John, like if you guys are really helping more like with the plants and that sort of thing, we can exchange numbers too. My phone number has been in the email signature of all of the emails, so you know you guys should.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Maybe the more important question, Dana, is when are you leaving?
yeah, well,
If we're not done.
hopefully Saturday. My flight is for Saturday, so that's
Saturday,
like
okay. I thought we had some volunteers planned for Saturday, right?
we do. Yeah, we do, and you know, in case if we have to go into
Don't have
Saturday,
backup.
and it's in case we have any like delays, you know, during the week significantly. But like I said, if it's looking like we're going to finish earlier, I will definitely be letting those people know a couple of days in advance that they don't have to come. But I don't want to do it just yet, just in case we do end up going to Saturday.
So Dana, this has
Yeah.
got to be like a record for you on doing a project of this 15 CAC meetings, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we typically this model of every 2 weeks is actually what we do for most projects. But yeah, it's just funny. The last meeting was supposed to be the 5th originally. So yeah. And a good
Okay, well,
number.
thanks for hanging in there. Thanks,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah,
guys.
thank you.
See all
Thank
of
you,
you next-
everybody. Appreciate it.
Dana,
All
I'll email my
Yep.
cell phone number to you.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Bye, everybody.
All right. Good
Bye.
luck, everybody.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Yeah.
Sylvie and Raymond, everyone.